What's up, YouTube? Today I got this 2012 Ford Escape. I'm going to be showing y'all how to tune this bad boy up. Nothing wrong with the car, it's just a general maintenance. It's got 120,000 miles on it, something like that, maybe a little more. Anyways, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe so I continue to make videos like this to make your life easier. Today I'm doing this outside. It's nice, it's cool. I try to do this outside of the shop sometimes because it's a little noisy inside the shop. Anytime I can do these videos outside for y'all so y'all can have a little peace and quiet as me as well and I don't get interrupted. Anyways, let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is take these little clips out right here. Now this is the V6. They put a 4-cylinder in these two. 4 cylinders are a lot easier. Pull that little boot out of your way. Now we're going to unplug the sensor right here because we don't want to damage any connectors. Pull that little red tab back, unplug it, pull your little clip right there out where it goes into the boot, and that just pulls up. No bolts on it. Now we're going to take our boot off the intake here. A 8mm or a flathead screwdriver, whatever you have. Now just wiggle that boot out of your way. Now on the very bottom of here you have another hose. You just pull back on that clip and pull it off. We'll set that down out of our way. Now if you couldn't see what I was doing, just pull back on that clip and pull out. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is you can do the front ones without pulling anything other than the air filter housing. The back ones you got to pull this upper intake. We're going to unplug all these connectors, get all this out of our way. Alright. Now unplug your EGR valve. Just going to tuck those wires out of your way. Now we've got this connector right here for this hose. This one's a little different, so let me show you how to do that. There's little tabs right here if you can see. Yeah, this clip's a little bit more difficult to unhook. Just gotta kind of work that bad boy out, kind of like a fuel filter clip. Let's see if I can get a little primer. There you go. Once you get those little tabs pushed in, you can take your screwdriver and pull that the rest of the way out, but not all the way out. Just enough we can pull up and out on that. Alright, just going to tuck that out of your way. Now you can just pull your valve out of your booster or take it off from there, whatever's easier. It's probably easier to do it that way. This one right here, I think, yeah, you got to pull this clamp off. Just take your pliers to break the seal of that hose. Easier said than done. We'll come back to that in a minute. Let's see. Unplug your map sensor. Alright. Now the fun part. Your EGR valve right here. So grab you a 10mm. See if I can get this swivel socket in there. Go to hit the back bolt up first. Break that bad boy loose. Alright. That long bolt Keep your trans dipstick out of our way. Now, on the back side of the CGR valve, there's a gasket. If you get an intake kit, because you're going to want to replace this intake gasket, get the full intake kit and they'll give you a new gasket for that. You can reuse them, but this one's in pretty rough shape. I don't want to EGR leak and just kind of lean out of your way. You don't have to take that pipe off unless you're changing it. Alright, now I think we pulled enough where we can start pulling these intake bolts, fellers. So, let's grab our 8. Our knot. That socket I think is wore out. And my 1/4-inch ratchet decided to break on me, so I'm having to use this adapter. Let's grab this 8. There we go. I probably brought more tools out here than I need, but I just wanted to make sure I had enough tools out here to do this job without having to go back and forth into the shop, so we can get this done faster. Speed is the name of the game. And this is a back bolt right here. There we go. Alright. Now, if I remember correctly, there it is, an 8mm bolt on this bracket right here. So let's grab our ratchet. And take that support bracket bolt out. It's keeping us from pulling the intake the rest of the way. Just unthread it enough to where you can put your fingers down there and take it out the rest of the way so you don't lose it. Alright. I should be able to pull this up. I guess that bracket has 2 bolts on it, huh? Yep. All the way back there in that nice tight spot. Okay. That one's going to be a little more difficult to access. Let's move that tray out of the way. Oh, of course my socket fell. I heard it hit the ground though. No, just the adapter. Oh boy. There it is. I found it. Always got to be that one socket that falls. Every time. Okay, let's set that on that bolt first. See what we're working with here. Alright, we're on the bolt. There we go. Alright, no, try not to lose that. Now, sorry I'm out of breath, I'm talking while I'm working. Alright. Alright, what else is holding this bad boy? These harnesses. Try not to break those clips if you can help it, but sometimes you can't help it. Especially when they get all brittle and old. Yep, I tried, but that harness ain't gonna rub on nothing. It's well insulated. Okay, now I didn't even have to take that hose off. I'm able to lean this out of the way just enough to work with it, so that's even better. Let's go ahead and put that clamp back on while I'm here. That way we don't forget. Alright. Now the only gasket, now when you get this intake gasket kit, sometimes it'll come with the upper and lower. But we don't need a lower. We're not pulling the lower. There's no reason to pull the lower unless you had an intake leak. Now if you want to decide you're going to try to reuse this gasket, that's up to you. But if you have an intake leak, keep in mind you're going to have to pull this all back apart. Just change it. go ahead and put this gasket in before we start on the tune-up. That way. Let's see. See if we're lining it up right. I think it goes the other way. Or not. There we go. The way to tell is these little tabs right here. These little notches that lock into place. It'll hold itself in there if you push it nice and flush. And just make sure it's in there all the way so it don't fall out. Okay, we should be good on that, y'all. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and get the back side out of the way, y'all. The hard part. Grab our 8 again. Just kind of set those up there. Pull up on your boots. You might not even have to unplug these. Nope. Yeah, that one's a little tight. So I don't like to unplug these connectors if I don't have to, because a lot of times they're really brittle from the heat, especially on the back, because that intake in the way, heat gets trapped. We can get that one out. Alright, now we're changing the coil boots on these two. Good idea to do, because the coil boots act like your plug wires. So when you pull that out, you're going to see a spring. Now your new ones will have a spring in them too. Just push them up over there, just like that. And you'll get these little weather grommets too. They only go on one way. I mean, you can put them on both ways, but the right way is the way that lip faces out. Go ahead and change those while I'm back here. Alright, and change this one. Don't get them mixed up. These rubber boots get brittle over time and they can start arcing. It's a good time to do them while you got them out. Okay. Alright, time to pull these plugs. 5/8. That went a little short. I brought a couple different ones out here. Alright, that's perfect. Okay. Let's grab our 3/8 electric ratchet. Now let the engine cool down a good bit before you pull these plugs. They'll come out a lot easier and less chance of stripping out the threads. Now these, I'm going to have to warranty these out. They're supposed to catch those spark plugs. But I got a magnet for that. Boom. Alright. Now, I got my plugs already, but even though they're Motorcraft, you want to make sure they look the same. Same part number, same length. Yeah, I'd say those are original. Look at the difference in that gap and the electrode, how worn out it is. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and change these coil boots too. These weather grommets, you don't really have to change these because they look like they're in good shape, but the customer paid for it, so I'm putting them on. Okay. Alright, now just kind of slide your plug down in there. Alright, now grab your socket. And we're going to hand start them. Just a couple threads. Alright, now if you're not used to doing these tune-ups, don't use the electric ratchet. I'll just run them down just to where they bottom out, and then I'll give them a final little snug. Just like that. Alright, start putting our coils back in. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, if you can get them out without unplugging them, do that, because if those connectors start breaking and you're going to have to glue them on. Best to just leave them alone if you can. And don't get too crazy on them. If you're having to pull real tight, you'll tear the wires out of the plug. Just a little snug. Boom. Alright. Now we're going to put this intake back on, and the hard part's over. Make sure your gasket's still seated. Looks good to me. Alright. Now just go down the line here and start these a couple threads. Don't want to strip these bad boys out. Okay. Grab our 8. Just work the corners. That way it goes down nice and even. Nothing too crazy. Just till they bottom out, and then another little quarter turn maybe. Alright. Put all our connectors back in. Just put those harnesses back in. This one didn't break, but that other one is trapped by this one. It ain't going nowhere. Plug all our plugs back in on the back side. We're not going to plug the EGR until we get them bolts back in there. So this is the fun part, fellers. Lining this bad boy back up. So what I do is I'll take the bolts, get it started in that hole. Alright, I think we're started. Take your other bolt, fish it through. Can't really see what I'm doing, but you gotta just kind of feel your way back there. Alright. Kind of wiggle it around while you're turning the bolts. Alright, I'm pretty sure I'm started, so start running those down slowly. Alright, and the back one. Just nice and snug. Plug that bad boy back in. Grab your hose. Go ahead and push your booster hose back in. Alright, clip that back on. Push that back in. Secure your wire if you didn't break the clip. Just like that. Just kind of go around the line, make sure everything's on there. And we got that bracket right there, this secure bracket. Get those bolts started by hand. Alright. Run those bad boys down. Let's see if I can do it with this socket. Okay. And the fun one. Alright. Now the front ones. I could probably stop this video right here, but we're going to complete it together. I'm pretty sure you can handle these. I got you through the hard part. We're going to finish it together. See if we can pull these up without unplugging them. Probably not. Alright. That bad boy. This one's going to be stubborn. Let's do this. Come on, baby. Unplug. Oh, that one's really fighting me. Oh, wow. It's making me work up a sweat here. Come on. Let's see. Ah, got it out. There's all that dirt in there causing that. Whatever, we got it. We'll keep on fighting. Might be able to get this one on there. A lot faster. Grab the old magnet. Slide them down in there gently. You ain't gonna damage the electrodes. I know you're probably thinking, oh, that's gonna make it bend. No, it won't. Never has before. You'll know it. It'll run like crap. Alright. We're gonna tighten them down with the ratchet. That gun's pretty strong. I don't want to crack them. Ooh. Alright. Now, let's change our coil boots. Let's see. I want to mix them up. A little weather strip. Uno. Dos. One more. Tres. Yeah, I know my Spanish is terrible. Just trying to have a little fun. Alright. Slide them bad boys back down in there. Go ahead and plug them in. So you hear that magic click. Click. Alright, grab the old 8. Alright, put our trans dipstick back in, get all our old parts off of here. Grab your air filter housing. Push her back over, pop her back down. Plug your mass airflow sensor back in. See a little grommet there. Our clip, whatever you want to call it. Tighten down your boot. Put this guy back on. Whatever. Tight fit. Alright, just push that over there. Push little clips back down in there. Let me get this out of the way. Boom. 2, 3. Make sure all your tools are out of the way, at least from the engine. Nothing falls down in there. Just kind of go back over yourself. Make sure everything's plugged in that you unplugged. Alright, let's go fire this bad boy up. Oh, look, see? That's why we go over ourselves. Click. It's your PCV hose. Fire up. Make sure no codes come on, indicating we left something unplugged. Do a couple key cycles. Sometimes these won't set a check engine light if anything's unplugged till a couple key cycles. Snap throttle. Sounds good to me, fellas. Anyways, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe so I continue to make videos like this to make your life easier. Y'all have a great day. Peace out, YouTube.